Hi everyone, it's Jo. Welcome back to my channel. Today is going to be a really interesting video. I don't really do videos like for tarot outside of just like, you know, the weekly or monthly readings and like the timeless readings and stuff. But I decided like, you know, this is kind of like good information to just throw out there. So today's video is going to be all about breaking in your tarot deck. Now, I got a new deck for Christmas, courtesy of my boyfriend, and it's the Phantom Wise Tarot deck. It is so pretty, and I've been wanting this for a while. It just fits, it fits me, it fits my aesthetic, and, you know, just overall who I am. So I've been wanting this for a while, and this is by Erin Morgenstern. I think I'm saying that right, but I just wanted to use this opportunity to show you how I break in my tarot deck. Now, everyone does this differently. It's kind of like ballerinas breaking in their point shoes. Literally everyone has their way of doing this. But before we get started, make sure you like this video and subscribe to me if you like my content, or you think you're gonna like my content if you're new here. And it's just gonna make me happy. And make sure you leave a comment at the end of the video to say that you watched it all the way through, or, you know, just leave a comment saying something. I love reading comments, so it would make me happy to read them, I guess. So I am going to switch the angle just so that you guys have a better view of what's going on, and we'll just hop right into it, I guess. So when I get a new deck, I like to, well, let's just like look at this deck first and foremost. We have like this whole booklet, which is really nice. I like reading the artist's interpretation of what the cards mean, just to see how it differs, because everyone again has a different relationship with the cards, and also I'd like to know why they did them the way they did them. So the first thing that I do is just unpack everything. I typically do keep the box, so I just set it aside. Right after that, I take some incense, and this one has been going for a while, and it doesn't really matter because I just literally just go ahead and just put some smoke all over the whole entire deck. Now, the reason why I do this, well, let's first start with incense. I typically do either frankincense or lotus incense for this part, because frankincense is like typically used for blessing, and I use the lotus because that is one of my symbols. So this is a deck that I'm going to be using for me personally, which I am going to be using this for me, and but also for you guys as well. This is not like my, this is not a strictly personal deck. I will use the lotus incense, but if it's like I have a deck in there in my collection that is like not really something that resonates for me, but like something I do appreciate, then I'll use it for you guys, and I will use frankincense. So yeah, I'm just going over the whole deck with the smoke. And when that's done, I usually just do that for like 30 seconds to make sure I get everything. But when that's done, I just set it to the side. And now we have a blank canvas. I just cleansed this deck with the incense smoke. So right after I cleanse the deck with smoke, I go in and I set it to how I would normally, like I reset the deck to how I would order it. So this is pretty easy because, you know, once you get a deck, it's all in the order. But I like to just, of course, do major arcana first, and it's pretty easy because it's in order. Yeah, and so we have the major arcana face down first. And I don't really like, so this deck does like fire, water, air, and then earth, which is not really how I do, but I like I do like fire and water first for some decks, but this deck I think I'm gonna do earth first, and then air. So I'm gonna get my pentacles ready, which are in the back. Yeah, put that ace right there. So we're gonna do ace of pentacles. We're gonna do pentacles first, and then we got swords, 4 swords. Okay. So earth and air, and then we go fire, and water is last. Water is it's either water or air is typically, sorry, wands or swords are typically last in my decks. And this time it is the cups group. And so I just rearranged them like that. So we have the major arcana, then we have the pentacles, and then we have swords, wands, and cups. You can arrange them however you like to. I typically just like having either earth or pentacles or wands first in my deck after the major arcana, because I am in Aries sun and a Virgo rising, so I typically like to go off either one of those. Also, my moon's in Taurus, so I really like generally do pentacles first. Unless I'm feeling a little bit rowdy, then I'll do wands first. So I just go by the element symbols that the what are they called? The suits hold. So after that, I will typically go in with some Florida water. This is old. This is by my friend Mecca. She's also here on YouTube. I will link her channel down in the description. I actually don't know what's going on with her shop. Hopefully she'll see that I tagged her and she'll comment, let us all know. But I think the issue is, I think what it is she's kind of closed down, and she's kind of like she's like rearranging her business or something like that. I don't know. But you can, I don't know if she still sells this. The Florida water. I think she's just doing like incense and candles now, but regardless, if you want something by her, you can, I think you have to get on like the email like list. You have to get on like a wait list, because it's very exclusive. It's a very exclusive collab, if you know what I'm saying. So, but if you don't want like homemade, this shit's good, by the way. So I would, if you like are able to get this by Mecca, please go get it by her, because I don't think anything compares unless you like make it your own, which I usually do, but hers is just, it's just good. It's good. So if I don't have, you know, my own homemade, then I'll use hers. But again, you can use like the one that comes in like the glass bottle, you know, the one that everyone else uses and stuff. That's fine too. But what I'll do is I'll usually use like a rag or something if I have one handy, but I am in the middle of literally washing all of my clothes, so I'm just using a tissue. And so I'll spray like maybe like 1 or 2 sprays per suit. So we're gonna do the major arcana first. Sorry, I know I said 1 and 2, that was like 5. So I'll spray it on there, and then we will again do per suit. So I'm just gonna break this up. So we have the major arcana here. I'm just gonna do it for the major arcana right now. I'm gonna do the rest off camera, so that it doesn't like bore you guys. But so I'll do it like this. I'll take a card and I'll wipe it front to back and just admire it, and then I'll place it down. Actually, I need to place it this way. And I will do that for all of the cards in the whole entire deck. Again, just doing like 1 to 2 sprays for each suit. So you are seeing every card and you are like touching every card, and this is just an act of like, again, blessing and just sort of like infusing your own energy into the cards. This is just kind of how I've always done it. I don't know why, I'm just like, I don't know, it's like a sense of appreciation for me, I guess, like a sense of like gratitude. I'm just like going over every single card. But again, you don't have to do that if it doesn't resonate with you. If you feel like, I don't know, you're too like low on time to do it, that's fine anyway. So again, just going over every single card. And even if like, see my, for what is running out, which is why you have to do it multiple times, why you have to spray multiple times for every soup. But even if it doesn't feel like you're getting anything on there, it's still getting on there, so don't worry about it. But you should probably reapply every other suit, or you can just do one and go if that's just how you feel. But I don't know, it doesn't feel right for me. These cards are fun, they're cute. Magician, that's so camp. Okay. And we have the Fool. So I just went over all of the major arcana, and I'm going to do the rest off camera. But you just get the major idea of what I'm trying to say to you. Just spray 2 times again on like a rag or a tissue, and then yeah, just go over every card in the suit, and that's it. So now that we have done all of the suits, and we've, you know, wiped them all down with Florida water, we're just gonna put them back in order. Notice that I have not shuffled these cards yet. I've literally just set them to my preference, the order of my preference. I'm literally just putting them back into place. Now that, and there's a specific reason for this, and this reason is because now, after they are all blessed and clear of any energy that I don't want, and imbued with my own energy and my own attention, and, you know, me and the deck are sort of getting to know each other and feeling each other's energies, true energies, and not just, you know, everything else that's been going on, you know, in between the time of it getting to me. I am now going to consecrate this by praying over it. I have a tarot sigil that I usually keep. I'll like do my tarot sigil and I'll keep it in the case that it comes with, so that it's always like charged with my intention. But before I do this, I do pray over my tarot deck. Now, you don't have to do this, but it's something that I strongly encourage. Always that intention of whenever you're dealing with sort of like anything that has to do with like divination or like magic in general, or witchcraft in general, it's, if these are like your tools, you know, so it's always best that you set intention for what you want to use them for, or what you want them to do for you. And in this case, I'm just going to do my regular prayer that I do all over them. Over all of my other decks. Sometimes the prayer is different depending on what I want to use the deck for, but this one is just a regular deck for me. And so yeah, so pray over your decks, please. If that's like one thing that you get from this, I would say to pray over your deck. And even now I can like feel the energy coming off of this deck, so it's really good. It's like ready for me pretty much to start shuffling. So a tarot sigil that I keep in the case, and also I pray over it using that same like symbolism, sort of kind of like the way that I create my sigils is I'll say something, or, you know, write something down, and then I'll I'll translate that into a symbol. So the meaning behind the sigil is what I'll say to the deck, as well as another prayer as well as like the typical standard prayer that I will pray over this deck with. You can create it yourself. There are some online that you can use, but I always recommend doing something personal, especially if it's, you know, a deck for you or something that just at least resonates with you and your soul. If you're just not feeling up to being like creative, I guess, coming up with your own thing, your own prayer. So what I will do is I will just hold it in my hands, you know, like this, just so the energy is going back and forth between my hands, between my palms. So I'll just say my prayer and repeat my intention, just like this. And so I'm gonna cut it now because this is pretty private for me and I don't want this out on the internet. And so once all of that is done, now I will go in and I will start shuffling up the cards, just to get like, you know, cool little starting point for for when I want to start using these cards. I like to have my deck shuffled, and I only really like to reset my deck when I'm feeling like, well, either one, I'm feeling like the deck is sort of like, if it's like popping out too much, like if like the cards are just like slippery and they're falling out and stuff like that, I like to reset then, because it's just like, it's like an energy of chaos, and that just means that it needs to just reset and like come back and ground. You need to like ground your deck. So I'll do it when that happens, or I'll do it when I am having a sort of disconnect from the deck. And that's really the only time that I reset my deck, or my decks, plural. But yeah, I just shuffle. I have to do this on camera, but it's like hard because this is like so close to me. You don't know, but I know. This is so close to my hands. And I'm trying very hard not to hit the camera right now. But yeah, I just sort of like shuffle until I feel good about it. Seven of Cups came out. That's cool. I just like to see what the deck wants me to see too. Five of Cups, interesting, interessante. Just so I can get a vibe of like, it's like, I don't know, it's like we're having like a fun little game at the same time. It's like, not necessarily what the deck wants me to know, it's just sort of just like the vibe of the deck is what I'm getting at. And in this like scenario, I typically enjoy when like a whole part of the deck flies out, because that means that I have more chances of getting reverses. And although I don't really like reading reverses, I know that they're important. So if the deck needs a reverse, it's sort of just like there. It'll have easier access with giving it to me, and I don't have like the urge to flip it around and read it upright. Because I will do that. I will cheat a little, and unless I actually have the urge to like flip it upright, and it's like because it needs to be upright. But sometimes I will cheat a little bit. That's my B. But I only do that for myself because, of course, or when my intuition tells me to do so. Okay, let's see what you have. See if we have a reverse. That's good. I'm just going to put that in there. So I just shuffle, and I feel like this is a good stopping point right here, and then I'll see what it looks like. So we are almost at the Fool for the beginning. That's interesting, but I do like how the Magician is the base card. It's just very telling. That's fucked up, mind you. That's really fucked up. Okay, let's go on. I like the Wheel of Fortune in this. This is very cool. Yeah, I mean, this is pretty good shuffle, I feel like. Yeah. these cards shuffle really well, actually. So let's see what the middle of the deck looks like. Okay. So for the most part, this is a pretty good starting point for a shuffle. And yeah, so that's pretty much how I break in the deck. I will just like, at this point, I will like break it up like this. I'll like bend the cards just a little bit, just so whenever I do a bridge, it's not like terrible. Yeah, so you can see I'm like trying my hardest because I don't want like the cards to be like bent to hell and back, but I do want like a slight bend. It's just better for shuffling. So I'll just like go like this a little bit, and so now we see all the cards have like a little slight bend, which is great because that's what we want. Although it's bending sort of this way and not the way that I was trying to get it to bend, but it's fine. Because either way will work. And that is how I break in my tarot deck. It's like a lot of steps, but they're always necessary for me. So, and then I just put it back in the case. So I just broke in my tarot deck, and I just wanted to go over like a couple reasons why you would want to break in your tarot deck, because I know that some people just take it out of the case and start going. I'm not one of those people. But for me, there are a couple of reasons, and I feel like there are two major reasons why you should break in your tarot deck. Number one is because you need to feel the cards, you need to build that relationship with your cards, you need to have that sort of like energy exchange. So with the Florida water, right, like while I'm like handling each and every card, I'm looking at the card and I'm paying attention to what its imagery is and all of that. I'm paying attention to each and every one of the cards. I'm not just sort of like cleansing it and then like discarding the card. I'm actually giving it all of my attention and giving it the respect it deserves. So that I am able to build up a relationship with my deck and have that sort of energy exchange, and also get to know the deck. So reason number two is because you need to discard that like energy from everywhere else before the deck gets to you. You really just want it to be your own energy and the deck's energy, and maybe your artist's energy if you're into that. But for me, it's just the deck and my own energy. It needs to be sort of like a harmonization between you and the deck, and that's all the energy that needs to be there, especially at the start. So yeah, number one is getting like to know your deck and like sort of building up that relationship, like introducing yourself and it introducing itself to you. And two is getting rid of unwanted energies and stuff like that. If you could do that with just like one or two steps, that's perfectly up to you. It's perfectly fine. But for me, I need to be thorough with the way that I treat my tools. And this is just how I ended up doing it. Actually, the first tarot deck that I got, I had just made my first batch of Florida water because I was like cleaning my space and stuff, and I was like, oh, I need Florida water, whatever. But a couple days after, I got my first tarot deck, and it was like I drenched that deck in Florida water. It was I don't know, I did too much. It's not like I ruined the deck because I didn't do that, but it just got so sticky, and the cards were sticking together, so I had to like shuffle for so long, and I had to like wipe each card down because it's like, oh my god, what did I do? Why did I do that? So that's why I'm like putting so much emphasis on the 1 to 2 sprays, because I made my first deck sticky. But honestly, that deck shuffles so well now. And I think it's due to the stickiness. It's not flying out of your hands or whatever at all times. And things are just sort of like, it's like the perfect deck to shuffle with, especially if you're like learning different ways to shuffle. I always go to that deck. because it's just like, it's sticky. And I don't mean that in like a gross way, like there's like bacteria and stuff built on it. It's like the texture of the cardstock is like, it's like perfect. I accidentally like made my deck perfect, my first ever deck perfect for shuffling. So like, you don't know, you know, what's going to happen with your deck. If it's plastic, I guess it's fine if you do that, as long as you just wipe it off, I guess. But if it's like cardstock and, I don't know, I guess foil too, it would have to apply to. I would suggest, again, 1 to 2 sprays. You don't want to mess everything up, especially if it's like an expensive deck or something like that. You want to be careful and you want to treat it with care. I will be using this deck for the February reading, so I'm super excited for that. I was thinking about using another deck that I have, or just like the pink one you guys regularly see, because I don't know, I thought like Valentine's Day would be like cute, but I really want to use this deck right here because it's just, it feels right to me, and I'm just eager to use it. But if you see me change my mind and a timeless message pops up, mind your business, because yeah. But I just wanted to share with you guys how I break in my tarot deck, just so if any of you people are new to tarot and you want to like start on your tarot journey or whatever, that's just, you know, one more piece of information that you know. So that's it for this video, guys. Thank you so much for watching. If you want to follow me on socials, they will be in the link in the description, as well as any like a link to my website. Also, Mecca's info will be down there as well, and any other sort of information you might need to know. But thank you for watching, and thank you for subscribing. We recently hit 100 subscribers. I made a video about it. I'm really excited. I'm still like sort of like riding that high. Thank you guys. 100 of you are here. You know how hard it is to grow on YouTube if you are like not like, I don't know, if you don't like, if you don't understand like thumbnails and stuff, like clickbait. I'm not trying to clickbait everyone, but I have to get like clickbaity at some point so I can grow and reach more of you, and we can have our own little community. But it's super hard. So I just want to be like fun and aesthetic and just do my own thing, but I have to do clickbait. So whatever, it's fine, it's cool. I'm so grateful that all 100, and I think I have 102 of you right here now, so I'm so grateful for all of you, and thank you so much for, you know, just watching and being here. And if you're new here, please consider subscribing and joining our family. It would be the best thing for me personally. I would appreciate you so much. I do appreciate you just watching. But if you're not going to subscribe, at least like the video so I can reach more people and, you know, grow my channel a little bit. Again, thank you all so much for watching. Thank you all so much for being here. I love you guys. Bye.